So I am a Frito-Lay truck driver, and I've been driving for them for 27 years. I am stationed out of Aberdeen, Maryland, and I pick the loads up there, and sometimes I'll go to Boston, sometimes I'll go out to Chicago, sometimes I'll even go down to Miami. You don't need any special education, you just need a skill. And luckily, I grew up on a dairy farm, and we drove tractor trailers on the farm, do grain, hay, silage. So you can get your CDL when you're 21. You can drive a tractor trailer for agriculture when you're 18. So, but still, for you to drive a tractor trailer, you must have a certified health card. And it's good for 2 years. So to obtain a CDL, you have to take a written test just like you do for a car. And then you must take a tractor trailer to the driving course. And at that point there's automatics test, and then there is a stick shift. And once you get your license, if you take your license with an automatic, you can only drive automatics, even though you know how to drive a stick shift. So my advice to you would be to take your test in a stick shift, and then they make you hit the dock, then they make you do a left curb and a right curb, and then they take you out on a road test. And then you get your license. So I grew up on the farm, and then my first truck driving job was with a mulch company, Fry Brothers Mulch, and then I worked for them for a year to get experience, and then I went and drove for Master Mix Feeds out of Camp Hill, PA, and drove for them for 7 years. And I had an opportunity to sign on with Frito-Lay, which paid a lot more, and I knew that if I could get on there, I could be able to retire at a decent age. 4-H was a big thing in me growing up, especially visual demonstrations, public speaking, the tractor driving competitions, the car automotive competitions. So the benefit of driving is it's good pay, and it's provided a good living for my wife and my family, and I was able to get my kids' education, put a nice house over my head, go on vacations. And I've seen the world. I mean, I've seen places where I never would have seen if I would have stayed here local. I met some good people out there. So the drawbacks of being a tractor trailer driver is it's not like going to work with a 9 to 5 where you punch the clock and at 5 o'clock you punch out. When you get in that truck, anything could happen. You could run into a traffic jam. You could run into an accident. You could have a flat tire yourself. Your truck could break down. So every time I leave, I tell my wife, I'll be home around 3:30. Who knows? I might get home 6:30. Or I might not get home at all because I got to lay over because I burn off my hours. So I had to learn the ropes. I had to learn how to axle out my loads, had to fill out log books, read road maps. So, pulling the scales, do an inspection on the trailer, do an inspection on the truck. It wasn't my first choice when I left the farm because I loved farming. But it's a lot like farming because you have to be so responsible. If you're going to be a good truck driver, you're going to be responsible. You're going to make sure your equipment's safe so you don't endanger other people out on the road. You don't need to take a 4-year college degree. You can get a job at 21. You can go anywhere to any truck driver, any truck company, and get a job, starting out at $110,000 a year. Now I've been with Frito-Lay for 27 years, so I'm a senior driver, so I got a better runs. But last year I made $149,000. I mean, I think the reason I do well in these competitions is because of 4-H. Everything I learned through 4-H with leadership and sharing my knowledge has made me a better truck driver. I mean, the rings and these trophies really don't mean anything. It's what the people say. You know what? That Lowell guy, he's a good truck driver. If you got any questions, go ask him. And that's what's, I think, makes a good truck driver.